What's the relationship between today's economy and the development of freight technology? I'm going to find out in my conversation with Krenar Komoni. He is founder and CEO of Tive. Hi, Krenar.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Good to have you back again with us. Thank you so much for that.
Always good seeing you.
So let's dive into this topic of the economy, its impact on freight tech, and how shippers and 3PLs should even be thinking about it, how they wrap their minds around it. What's your feeling about that right now?
Yeah, I think we've seen the economy change quite a bit here in 2022. But even if you look at from the investment side, freight tech had slowed down a little bit in 2022, and going into 2023 with inflation the way it was in 2022, with interest rates continuing to go up, and I just heard today or yesterday the Fed increased another quarter points on the interest rates.
Right.
And that's continuing. There's a lot of pressure on the market to operate as cost efficiently as possible. So when shippers and 3PLs are looking at freight tech, what they're thinking is, how do I operate business going forward here in 2023 with at least amount of operational expenses and continue to scale so that they don't stagnate. And in that sense, what shippers and 3PLs are looking for is what I call operating leverage, meaning how do they bring freight tech that can continue for them to grow in revenue, but not increase the amount of people they need to hire so they can increase their operational expenses.
Right.
So that's one thing that's changed quite a bit here in 2023.
But they have the foresight, at least, to know that they need to be investing in freight technology. I mean, they're not closing up the pocketbook because they're afraid of recession and saying we can't afford to spend right now. Indeed, it seems like they can't afford not to spend because efficiency is becoming so much more important.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. I think the only thing now they're looking to make sure is that they want to make sure those implementations don't take a long time. They want that ROI to be quick.
How quick? Like
month or two, right?
Oh my God, no.
I think in 2023, people are not looking to invest in projects that are going to take a year or two.
A year used to be the rapid ROI because that was compared with 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Now that's clearly unacceptable. But now you say it's a matter of months. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at just the layoffs that have happened in the industry, all over the industry, it's something that customers are quite focused on, making sure that they can operate as efficiently as possible. And to get those operational efficiencies 2 years from now, it's too late.
Okay, so there is no lack of freight tech providers out there. I'm sure you would agree with me. It's a very big universe of possibilities. So I would imagine it's difficult for these 3PLs, for these shippers, to even start to pick among them, to figure out where should they be going. How do you pick the best and most efficient tech providers?
That's a good question. I recently just heard, literally a few minutes ago, from somebody who runs a big part of the supply chain for a very large car manufacturer. And the way he was picking suppliers and picking vendors is to look at who has been in this industry for a long time. Not a freight tech that has started a year ago or 2 years ago, but they've been here for the long haul, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, have gone through all the challenges that a freight tech company has to go through to be able to provide the best service. So looking at longevity. The second thing I would say is looking at the implementation cost and the implementation time. So you want to get to that ROI as quickly as possible. If implementation is going to take 6 months, 9 months, are you willing to devote all your resources in this economy to actually go through that implementation? Things change every quarter, every 6 months. You have to be quite dedicated to have that. So I would say you want to look at freight tech that has been here for a while, number one, and two, you want to look at freight tech where the implementation and your time to implement is quite short.
Yeah, in the first case, if it's been here for a while, it presents kind of a proof of concept, right? Automatically, right? I mean, at least in the eyes of a company, another company. So it gives you something to
absolutely
benchmark off of. Okay, so there's so much is coming up in 2023. We don't know what it's going to be, but I wonder if I could just check off some of these things here and have you comment on them. First of all, you say tech providers that have been around for a long time, but these tech providers are constantly adopting new technology. They're not standing on their old solution just because they've been there for a while. What can we expect to see in the coming year in terms of new technology in freight technology?
I would say what's interesting, an area that is starting to take hold on, and I think is going to continue to evolve more and more, is around data sharing between suppliers, between technology providers, and between shippers, and getting to a place where we can collaborate better, so we can make supply chains overall better in this planet, in this economy. And that efficiency around sharing the data and collaborating with one another is something that's going to take hold here in 2023 out of necessity, I believe, and then continue to go into the next 4 or 5 years. With what's lacking there still, I think it's going to be standardization. If you just think we're in the business of visibility, and shipment visibility, supply chain visibility is a very important part of doing business and very important of making supply chains efficient. To get to visibility, collaboration is going to be very important.
Krenar, you mentioned the word collaboration. It's kind of a vague term these days. How would you define that in terms of what we're talking about today?
Yeah, it's been used a lot. I mean, even in here at Manifest in the conference, we talked quite a bit about data sharing and how that works. The idea of collaboration is, imagine, this is a specific example that happened in our business. A 3PL was using a particular TMS, and they needed to get 100% visibility on some of the shipments. And to get that 100% visibility, they said, we're going to put trackers on every single load for those shipments. In order for us to push data into that TMS, it was going to take sometimes a month or 2 months to do the integration. It was going to cost us money. However, another visibility provider was already connected with that transportation management system. So what we did is we collaborated 2 visibility providers with one another, and that visibility provider pushed our data straight into the TMS, and that 3PL was able to get 100% visibility through the TMS because of collaboration that we did between TMS, 2 visibility providers, and the 3PL.
Great example. Thanks so much, Krenar, for talking to me today about the economy, about freight technology, how such decisions are made, and the very important definition of the word collaboration. I do want to take a moment, though, to ask you a little bit about Tive. Where do you guys fit into the picture of what we've been talking about?
And just 2 seconds before I maybe talk about Tive, a perfect example of this collaboration is this initiative that we've started called the Open Visibility Network. And there's 17 members, and it's continuing to grow. Project 44, FourKites, Tive, Transvoyant, Marine Traffic. There's many other providers that are joining. And the idea is, how do we create a network where we can provide the best solution to shippers so they can get to visibility as fast as possible. And as far as Tive, we've grew quite a bit. We grew 80% last year, which was an amazing year. We added 258 customers, and we're continuing to grow. We looking to innovate in our product side in 2023. We're continuing to have similar growth here in 2023. And what we do, for the people who don't know, we help companies all over the world track shipments with these GPS trackers that go on loads, and they can get visibility immediately. And where I was talking about ROI, customers can get there pretty quickly. So
yeah.
Thank you for your time, Bob.
Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate your insights, Krenar. It's good to talk to you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
I've been speaking with Krenar Komoni of Tive. Thank you very much for watching.